So, winter topic. And today also fun, we're experimenting with square paper format. And as usually starting with the sketch. Yeah, so as usually we decide, okay, composition and our horizontal line. Yes, the main rule, it's not in the middle. And here it's also a bit like not too straight. It feels like it's a little bit everything going a little bit down the hill. Yeah, so I can also kind of maybe sketch like this. Our line. So more for the sky, less for the snow. Yeah. And yeah, and then let's start with the trees. So of course, first main ones that are closer to us. Yeah, those bigger ones.
Sorry,
and
I forgot to put my paper.
Okay, yeah. Sure. Yeah, I wait, take your time to. Changing paper size, it's also sometimes fun. If we always paint on rectangular, we always get the same kind of results. And sometimes it's fun to change for square, sometimes even circle. Yeah, then we get unexpected results. Yeah, okay, I see Ellie cutting her paper, very nice. What happened, Ellie? New piece of paper? All right. No problem. I will go very, very slowly with the trees. Yeah, later I will give you also time to catch up. So just, so frontal trees. So as usually, we remember the classical rules of perspective. The things that are closer to us, we draw them bigger. The things that are far away from us, we draw them smaller. Yeah? And here with the trees, also, as usual, we try to make picture interesting. And interesting in art means not the same. So I try to change the direction where the trees are like leaning. One tree is straight, one tree is a bit more to the right or to the left. Yeah, so the main is no worries about the snow side. We do it in the end. Yeah, the covering with gouache or acrylics is not a problem. So of course, first those bigger trees, and then slowly we move to smaller ones. So smaller means thinner, of course. Yeah. And then of course some branches can be there as well. Yeah. Then some small, like, just sticks. So it's not only trees, but some also like, like the young trees, they're also looking through the snow. And then we just kind of, without rush, we see how many trees fit in our. Maybe you want to make a path. Maybe there is some also path, and in the middle there is maybe a bit more opening, why not? I will experiment. What's with the path? Maybe If it will not work, I can just, of course. Yeah, and then the pace as well. When we paint it, then the closer it's to us, it's bigger. The more far away, then it becomes thinner and.
I added animals to mine.
Yeah, I love always the ideas of Juliet. Here is one, yeah, inside the tree. Sweet, sweet. Actually, a very good idea. Also, adding, instead of animals, we can add just footsteps. And then it's also like a very cute feeling that, you know, like maybe a rabbit was here and.
What if we added like a deer?
I remember that was the yesterday's idea. Totally. Let's put a deer exactly like just standing here somewhere in between the trees. So let me think. Good, you're telling right on time. I still have place. So I'll do it like, so maybe some part of the legs of him I don't see. And then maybe he's looking, he doesn't even have to look at us. Yeah, okay, later I will recorrect a little bit with paints, my sketch. But yes, thank you, Ellie, for reminding of this cool idea. Okay, I will add the rabbit. I had the footsteps. Ooh, I'm already loving our drawing.
I added a baby deer with mine.
Aww. Yes, there he is. Aww. He's a sweet one. Nice, very, very nice. So, and yeah, take your time to finish the sketch.
I think I'm done with all of my animals.
Cool, very, very nice, yeah. So then, as we said, yeah, we're doing this, we're putting really pinkish background for the snow and we're putting orangey background for the sky. And then we start building on top all the rest. And and yeah, then we'll see how it looks. But this is a trick that many artists are using. So yeah, of course, don't make it too dark. Yeah, it is light. Yeah, it doesn't matter which one to start with. Here, then as usually, more white, less pink to make pink light. And I'm thinking, because I have the path. Well, I'll go maybe. Yeah, also take a look. If your pink is transparent and you kind of can see the sketch, then you can go like just simply all over. I got pretty much intense amount of paint, so I can go a little bit around. I mean, yeah, it's. But you see, I'm not being very careful with the trees or with the paths, just kind of approximately and. Yeah, and just letting it dry. Letting it dry. And then doing my orange background. And you remember orange and pink, they are kind of colors, they love each other. They are good in between. I can even in my pinky mix. So instead of mixing separate orange, I will just add a bit of yellow. Yeah.
Was there something about like peach? It was like a really good with pink because they were like kind of mixed.
Exactly, Ellie. This is exactly what I'm about to make. So instead of taking orange, I'm using my leftovers of pink mix and adding a bit of yellow. And this is what it was. Adding pink plus yellow, we get this peachy color. One of my favorites mixes. And here we go. We can go, yeah. And then you see how light you want it to be. Yeah, if it's yeah, of course, still I suggest to make it not too dark. Yeah, anyway, it's kind of you put on top other colors. In the end, I colored almost all over my trees, but this is fine. I can paint them once again. Nice. Yeah, so yeah, I left here a little bit my tree shining out, but actually, yeah, I can just kind of to remember where I did my sketch, but it's not that. I think I even will go a little bit my path as well. Just not to leave it too whitish. Yay. Yeah, so this is our pre-coloring. Yes, orange in general is a very popular color for doing these backgrounds. And sometimes artists used even like very bright orange. And then you just let it dry. And then you create your landscape stuff on top. And in some places you recover it completely, your orange. But still, yeah, it kind of let the feeling, and the feeling of course is warm. And yeah, today we have winter, so I've used a bit more pale tones, but anyway. I'm thinking now, maybe I will add a bit more yellowish, just a bit. Have it a bit more shiny. This will be experiment, yeah. I will add a bit more yellow. Here was a bit maybe too much. Just here at the bottom where the connection is. Yeah, so this is what I did. A bit more shiny effect. So how it's going with background? Or are you doing the trees already, girls?
I'm still putting on some yellow, but it's turning into more of an orangey bright color. I put like this orange color on my snow and I like it. And I still have to do the background though, like I'm finishing.
Cool. I was just checking. That's perfect. Yes. Remember, if it's too bright, then just either a bit more water and paper towel. Yeah, they just help to lower the intensity. Yeah. But anyway, we're gonna have all those browns on top, and then you see still anyway all these kind of grayish blue in between the trees, and the snow itself as well, of course, and then falling snow, so will be lots of stuff in between. Yeah, and then to continue with the trees, and of course, it's good if it's kind of dry. And then we remember we use the dry brush technique. So not too much water and more like tapping our trees. Yeah, sitting the paint.
I made my snow a light pinkish color. Like, I don't know if you can really see, but it's like that sort of color. So I think I'm almost ready to start the trees.
Cool. What about you, Ellie? Say again?
I'm not ready.
Okay, yeah, take your time to finish, of course.
I think I'm ready to go.
All right. Yeah, let's give 1 minute for Ellie to finish, of course, and then we start together with
Now I think I'm ready.
Cool. So, as I've mentioned, then in this case, our brush is not so wet. Yeah, we can also always wipe a bit with paper towel. And then again, so it's more like, instead of drawing, it's more like tapping. I mean, of course, the big trees, I can kind of draw also the line, more like just a vertical line.
What color are you using for the tree?
So I'm taking brown. Yeah. So darker brown for the trees that are closer to us. And then I will be adding either yellow or a bit of white to make the tree more pale. And this will be for the trees that are at the backgrounds more far away. Yeah, and also, for example, I don't really have to do the trees till the end. Like, so in this case, you need to choose from which side you will have snow. Yeah, the snow usually like from one side, it was wind, snowing. So here it's almost everything from the left side. So in this case, I can leave kind of left side a little bit undone because I'll be sitting white there, and yeah, then it's fine. That it will be also easier for me if it will be not so darkish brown there, and then we'll just sit on top. But this is just detail. Like once it's dry, of course, we're gonna have. Yeah, and then mostly I'm going kind of with my brush, not vertically, but with those little strokes. Yeah, and remember to make your trees interesting. Yeah, so not all the same straight, but changing a bit. And some were also adding little branches. Yeah. And also no worries in case like your tree got a bit too thick. Yeah, we're gonna have snow and then we can cover. Yeah. Also, maybe instead of white or yellow for background trees, again, it can be also just a bit more water and then it's a bit more pale. Yeah, but still, of course, it's good to change a bit. Maybe a bit of ochre, you know, so just. Yeah, so I'm doing more like horizontal strokes. And I'm also not worried if it's not perfect, like horizontally. Yeah, because you see lots of snow. We can make almost as if there is like snowing very hard. Yeah, very snowy days. So it will all cover the imperfections of. Yeah, so also remember to change the thickness of the trees. Yeah, onto bigger ones that are far away. They are smaller. Yeah, and you see how just a bit more water and my brown is more pale. And then I already have my tree feeling more far away. Yeah, and of course also the thickness. Yeah, and also trees kind of crossing one each other. So not like each tree is separate and not touching another tree, but on purpose a bit that one is a bit behind, one is a bit in front. So this always looks good and more natural. Yeah, so I can, let's say, start one tree and then just I hide it behind or I cross it as if it's so I have covered my deer, so I will try to sketch it again. Oh, and then of course also important the position where the tree is starting. Yeah, so also I'm playing with this. If it's more closer to the end of the page, to the bottom, feels more close. If it's yeah, more up to the horizontal line, then it feels. So my deer, where is gonna be my deer standing? Yeah, so the deer also looks nice when it's kind of behind. And this is also a little trick for us, like we don't have to paint it all. So maybe some parts we're not sure about how to paint, we can avoid a bit. Yeah, okay, later I will precise a bit more my.
I'm done with all my trees, so I think I'm gonna start on the deer.
Very nice, yes. The deer also can be the level of kind of base layer. So this is what I also did. I just took one kind of bit watery, neutral brown and just set the kind of the silhouette of the deer. Later, once it's dry, I'm gonna, you know, make it a bit more precise. Yeah, and then you can think if you want to add a bit more branches. They kind of felt adding a bit more branches.
I have 2 deer in mine.
Oh, so nice. Or maybe two deers are meeting each other.
I was actually having a fawn and a mom deer.
So they're walking together.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's also sweet. All right, I feel I have more or less enough trees, already a bit too much, maybe. So, yeah, take time with your animals, no rush. But the story will be that we will continue with all our snowy mood backgrounds. And so this often happens when we paint something, we have background, we have object, and like these trees, it feels like they are, I don't know, someone just glued them, you know, to our ground. And it means we always need kind of to connect, and it means it's like here taking a bit darker color and with the bottom, so it's like the shadow at the bottom, and like this we connect a bit the tree and the ground, yeah, so it doesn't look so separate. So like we can start then with the bit darker blue at the bottom of the trees, making a bit like the shadow, and later we'll go on top with lighter, yeah, very pale blue.
I just finished most of my animals. I just need to do a squirrel.
Ah, perfect. Okay, yeah, I'm waiting. I'm not rushing with my. Yeah. Somehow I felt I'm gonna add the rabbit later in the end when it's already, when I will have snow down. But it was.
I'm still working on the trees.
Ah, okay, yeah. Thanks for letting me know, Ellie. Yeah, I was rushing already too much. Also a bit more detailing to my deer. Must be dry now already.
I didn't want to add a path because I just wanted it to be a peaceful nature scene.
Yeah. Nice.
I added a path to mine so that I could like get the deer in. It would like, and I made them like peering over by the path.
Aww. Oh, girls, I love how you always get your own ideas. Yeah, that's really cool. I will start slowly with the shadow, so just you see, you know, what it turns out. So I've mixed a bit of bluish, yeah, and then again trying to get the feeling so it's not too dark, not too light. Yeah, it's kind of playing a little bit, because if it's too light and it has like lots of white in there, then it's kind of not really connecting our tree. Yeah, and then also then I can maybe again use my dry brush technique. Yeah, then kind of just yeah, and not all of the trees have to have it, just like maybe the main ones, the one closer to us. Yeah, but direction, of course, we choose one. So your shadow can go also to the other side, but like once you choose one side, then you have to keep with it. Yeah, and if I get too much over with the blue, then I just come back with a bit of brownish, yeah, on top. Yeah, and it can be also a bit darker blue where like the shadow is touching the tree, and then I can go with the lighter blue as my shadow proceeds. No, this is already like a bit extra level, but because we know that the shadows are the darkest at the place where the shadow is touching the object. And when the shadow is already a bit more far away, then it becomes lighter and kind of fades away. Yeah, under the deer. So if you have already like more animals, you can also add a bit more shadow. Yeah, also under the animals. Yeah, also no worries if you got maybe a bit too much in some area. Like it happened to me, I have here a bit too much blue. But we will do also, yeah, the white snow on top, so then I can cover back. Yeah, the yellow is shining very nicely through this yellow with peachy color.
My shadows didn't turn out as I expected. They just look like blue blobs.
But can you show me on a camera, maybe, please? Ah, okay, okay. But wait, because we're not finished yet. Yeah, we're gonna go adding all these white, so very like it's almost white, tiny bit of blue or grayish.
Where's white?
And you can also, is the same as you did with when you got too much yellow, you just can add a bit more watery on top and kind of maybe spread a bit longer it out, and then with paper towel, if you feel like, you know, they're like a bit too bluish there. Yes, and then for the next step, of course, we need to wash our brush very good, so no blue is left. Yeah, when we are coming back from dark to light, that of course is essential. Yeah, and then also I'd suggest a bit more. Well, let's see. I started with a bit more dry brush, so then I'm getting those kind of strokes. But there in between, I will go again with a bit more watery also. Then I can get this effect. So I get these instant strokes that are kind of completely covering my pink. And then I can just wet my brush a bit more. And those emptinesses between those strokes, I can refill with a watery brush. Yeah. Oh, just experiment, you know, like how it's turning out. Yeah, and in this case, of course, you can already use the chance to recover a bit more your bluish shadow. I'll also do this, so if I feel somewhere it's a bit too much. In this case, I don't cover, in this case, I cover the blue shadows with a kind of watery brush. So it's still, the blue shadow is there, but I just get a bit more pale of it, you know. Yeah, and here I tried to do the path, but it also turned a bit. Yeah, so a magic napkin paper towel also saves stuff. And then also with the watery. Yes, actually what it's left to do now is more create the snow feeling. So I will also go a bit on top, like in between the trees, and also using like a bit more watery brush. So then I'm setting this whiteness, but still that I have some areas shining through. And
are we doing the entire snow over with white now?
yeah, so at the bottom, yes. Yeah. And then on top also, actually, well, you can decide. I'm not leaving all the sky this yellowish. I'm starting at the top with more whitish, and then at the bottom where the sky meets the ground, I will have it left a bit more as it is, yellowish, so for this warmth feeling. But anyway, on top also still my yellow is shining through, so even if I cover it, yeah, and this is kind of here a bit essential. It comes with experience, but you experienced girls, so you already have this feeling, aha, how much water I need, or how much paint, so then it's will it just completely cover my layer, or will it just create a bit more this foggy feeling, you know, that still my first layer is there visible, but I just did it a bit more pale. And then of course not to forget like very thick strokes of white for snow on the trees. And nice. I like this my second painting much more than the first one. Thank you, girls, for the idea of deer. Totally love it.
I just painted like watery white over watery rose gold, and it looked really cool because they kind of mixed.
You see? Nice. Yeah, today is a very cool experiment. Yeah, and also know, like, since we're setting this watery white, it's also give it, you know, time to dry, and then in some areas you can go with the second layer, you know, so it's here I'm already trying to set a bit of snow on left part of the trees. Yeah, and so putting snow also on the trees, like if I got a bit too much of white, then no worries, I can go and add a bit more brown again on top. Yeah, so this is always kind of a bit playing back and forth in case there is need. Oh, what a nice painting turned out.
I accidentally painted over my rabbit thinking it was a peach blob. And it like
But take a look, like, do you want it back or does it look fine without a rabbit? I mean,
fine.
yeah, I've also decided to go without a rabbit, kind of a solo deer. I'm happy, so yeah. But if it, of course, if you totally want, then just wait till it's dry. Yeah, you remember the rule. Wait till it's dry and then it's easy to correct. Ah, very nice. I think I'm already gonna take off the tape, not to overdo the drawing, the painting. No, very sunshine, wintry day. Nice. Yeah, and I can go and do a bit of also some brownish touch-ups, like accents, in case I, overdid with the white. Nice one. All right, I'll stop recording, but you girls finish, no rush.